Bent on revenge, Victor infiltrates Alphonse's crime ring. But when Beatrice sees him commit murder, she blackmails Victor. Together, they carry out their vendettas in Dead Man Down.
Hi, I'm Salim.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm also Aaron. So this was a jam-packed week of screenings, and we only have time to do a quick review on Dead Man Down, but let's do one. This is the new thriller from Niels, Arden, Oplev, who directed the Swedish version of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. We've all just seen it. Salim, why don't you start?
All right, well, Dead Man Down, by all accounts, should have been a pretty straightforward revenge movie, but unfortunately, it's a little bit too complicated for its own good. We have Noomi Rapace, who plays Beatrice, who asks for the help of Colin Farrell for her own revenge. But unfortunately, her character was wholly unnecessary and really didn't add much to the plot. But knowing that Niels directed the first Dragon Tattoo movie, it makes a little bit of sense that she's in this picture. Because there are so many moving parts in this film, the love story by the end just fell really flat. Now, the acting was good. I did like Noomi Rapace. This is probably the best she's been since Dragon Tattoo. And the action was cool here and there, but I just felt like it just didn't connect thematically like it should have.
It's a standard revenge story, and it has kind of some added tweaks in there by having Noomi Rapace's character. But the film is just not as narratively confident as it needs to be. It takes a lot of shortcuts to get where it wants to go instead of having a smarter way of playing out overall. The film does come off as generic overall in the end, but I do think there are strong performances here. You have Colin Farrell and Noomi Rapace. They have a good amount of chemistry. They're kind of lost soul type characters, and Dominic is really good in this movie. I really liked his performance. And Terrence, he doesn't have enough to do here, but I do think he's good with what he's given. It moves on this kind of slow pace. You don't really get into where it goes by the end. It's just kind of disappointing overall, and I wanted to like this movie. I think there are some good touches here directorially. I think there has some moments in the action and the way it's showing the grimy drama that's going on here.
I want him to know that if there's anything left in this world that he still cares about, I'm going to find it. And I'm gonna burn it down.
This was a revenge story that we've seen before. It was bland. It could have been so much more interesting, but then you add Beatrice as a character, and she's really irrelevant. Noomi Rapace did a wonderful job playing this character, but she didn't need to be in the movie. It was just her as his romantic interest. He could have gotten his revenge done without her. The film tries to discuss themes like family, for example. In the beginning, we have a little monologue, and by the end, it's like they didn't even have that monologue. And family is important to the film, but it's not a strong theme. I will say that some of the performances are strong, though Dominic, I think, was written the best and gave a great performance. He's always really good, though. You know, Niels, Arden, Oplev is a strong director. There are a few flourishes here or there, but nothing big. And not to mention that the score was just so over the top, really heavy-handed. They had cranked it up, and they were trying to make it so much more impactful, and it just didn't work.
Some visual touches going off the direction I think are commendable. I do think the tone is a bit uneven, especially as it gets to its climax, which is just kind of a dull action ending as opposed to maintaining a more dramatic tone that fits with the rest of the film.
I disagree. That was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah,
I like the action.
There were three action scenes. The second one was the coolest one.
The third one was the coolest. What are you talking about? Dead Man Down does have some interesting elements for a revenge crime thriller, but it tries to be smarter than it winds up being. Stream it.
Dead Man Down is a decent B-movie, but it's undone by its generic action finale. I say stream it.
There are plenty of revenge movies out there that surpass this film. Watch Old Boy or Kill Bill instead. Dead Man Down is a skip it.
All right, well, our votes add up to 1 ticket, which is a stream it for Dead Man Down. Cheers.
Revenge!
I quit.